Tired of using the same basic words? Want to sound more articulate and confident? In this video, I'll reveal 100 plus advanced words to upgrade your vocabulary and refine your communication. Whether speaking or writing, these words will help you express yourself with precision and elegance. Let's take your language skills to the next level.
Fascinating, extremely interesting and captivating, engrossing, intriguing, mesmerizing, spellbinding, the enchanted forest. As Emma stepped into the fascinating woods, she was drawn to the engrossing patterns of the fireflies. The intriguing whispers of the wind carried ancient tales, while the mesmerizing glow of the moon painted silver streaks on the water. Everything around her felt spellbinding, as if the forest itself was alive with magic. Transparent, easily seen through or understood. Clear, obvious, lucid, visible. The glass bridge. Jake cautiously walked onto the transparent bridge, his heartbeat matching the rhythm of the river below. The clear glass showed every rushing wave beneath him. It was obvious he had to trust his steps, just as he had learned to trust himself. The lucid sky stretched endlessly, mirroring his newfound courage. The world was visible in all its beauty. Straightforward, simple and honest, without complexity. Direct, uncomplicated, candid, open. No hidden paths. Lily admired Sam's straightforward nature. He was always direct about his feelings, never hiding behind false words. Their friendship was uncomplicated, built on mutual trust. His candid advice saved her from making a mistake, and his open heart reminded her that honesty was the key to real connections. Impoverished, extremely poor, lacking financial resources. Destitute, penniless, deprived, needy, the painted hopes. In an impoverished village, little Aisha sketched dreams on old paper scraps. Though destitute, her imagination soared beyond the broken rooftops. She was penniless, yet rich in hope. Her deprived hands held onto the colors of tomorrow, and her needy heart found solace in art, painting a brighter world than the one she lived in. Prosperous, successful and wealthy, flourishing, thriving, affluent, lucrative, golden harvest. The once barren fields became prosperous, filled with golden grains. The farmers, once struggling, now had flourishing businesses. Their land was thriving, producing more than ever before. With affluent harvests, they finally saw their dreams come true, proving that patience and hard work make life lucrative. Petrified, extremely scared or frozen in fear. Terrified, paralyzed, stunned, horrified. The shadow in the woods. As Mia walked through the dark forest, she became petrified by the eerie silence. A sudden rustling made her terrified, her feet glued to the ground. Her hands were paralyzed, unable to move as her heart pounded. The sight of glowing eyes left her stunned, and a chilling growl made her horrified, until she realized it was just a lost puppy. Brilliant, exceptionally intelligent or shining brightly. Luminous, radiant, genius, vivid. The starry discovery. Under the night sky, Leo made a brilliant discovery. His telescope revealed a luminous comet, its tail radiant against the blackness. His calculations proved his genius, predicting its return after a century. The astronomy world was amazed by his vivid theories, proving that passion and persistence lead to greatness. Indignant, feeling anger due to unfair treatment. Resentful, outraged, irritated, annoyed. The unfair game. Ava felt indignant when the referee wrongly accused her of cheating. Her resentful eyes glared as the opposing team smirked. She was outraged, knowing she had played fair. Her teammates, equally irritated, demanded justice. Though still annoyed, Ava vowed to win with skill, proving her worth despite unfair obstacles. Gigantic, extremely large in size. Enormous, massive, colossal, immense. The towering mountain. Standing before the gigantic peak, Sam felt small. Its enormous cliffs stretched beyond sight, its massive ridges challenging climbers. He had trained for years to conquer this colossal force of nature. The ascent was tough, but reaching the immense summit proved that perseverance conquers even the tallest challenges. Cramped, uncomfortably small or restricted in space. Confined, narrow, congested, packed. The tiny room. Alex sighed in his cramped apartment, struggling to stretch. The confined space barely allowed movement. The hallway was narrow, cluttered with belongings. Every corner felt congested, as if air itself was squeezed. Yet, despite the packed setting, this little room was his safe haven, a place filled with memories. Pouring, falling heavily or continuously, drizzling, raining, gushing, torrential. The endless rain. As Mira stepped outside, the sky was pouring rain, soaking her in seconds. The once light drizzling had turned into a downpour. Water was raining onto the streets, flooding the sidewalks. The river beside her was gushing, overflowing with rushing currents. She struggled through the torrential storm, hoping to find shelter. Exorbitant, excessively high or unreasonable in cost. Overpriced, expensive, costly, outrageous. The price of luxury. Leo gasped at the exorbitant price tag on the watch he wanted. It was overpriced, far beyond his budget. Though undeniably expensive, he admired its beauty. He sighed at its costly materials, realizing it was an outrageous luxury he couldn't afford. He smiled, knowing time was free, after all. Exceptional. Remarkably good or outstanding. Extraordinary. Remarkable. Superb. Outstanding. The rising star. Emma's talent was exceptional. She painted with an extraordinary touch, bringing life to canvases. Her creativity was remarkable, making every artwork unique. The gallery praised her superb strokes, showcasing her talent. She was destined for an outstanding career, her name shining in the art world. Sweltering. Extremely hot and uncomfortable. Scorching. Sizzling. Boiling. Stifling. The heat wave. The summer air was sweltering, making every breath heavy. The scorching sun burned against Alex's skin as he wiped sweat from his forehead. The pavement was sizzling, radiating unbearable heat. Even the water in his bottle felt boiling. The city was stifling, and all he wanted was shade. Stunned, shocked or unable to react. Amazed, speechless, dazed, bewildered. A sudden surprise. When Noah saw the grand fireworks, he stood stunned at their beauty. The patterns left him amazed, unable to blink. He was speechless, overwhelmed by the display. The lights reflected in his dazed eyes, and the crowd's cheers made him bewildered, lost in the spectacle. Atrocious. Extremely bad, cruel, or appalling. Dreadful. Terrible. Abominable. Appalling. The unforgivable mistake. The chef's attempt at soup was atrocious. It smelled dreadful and tasted terrible. The guests shuddered at the abominable mix of flavors. It was truly appalling, forcing everyone to push their plates away. Laughing, the chef promised never to cook without a recipe again. Horrendous. Shockingly bad or horrifying. Hideous. Awful. Monstrous. Gruesome. The haunted portrait. As the candlelight flickered, Mira saw the horrendous painting on the wall. The face looked hideous, its eyes staring with eerie intensity. The colors were awful, smeared like blood. It had a monstrous expression, and the details were gruesome, making her spine tingle. Excruciating. Extremely painful or unbearable. Agonizing. Torturous. Harrowing. Intolerable. The marathon's last mile. Jake pushed forward despite the excruciating cramps in his legs. The pain was agonizing, making each step a challenge. His exhaustion felt torturous, yet the crowd cheered him on. The final stretch was harrowing, but giving up was intolerable. He crossed the finish line in triumph. Minuscule. Extremely small or tiny. Tiny. Microscopic. Infinitesimal. Minute. The hidden treasure. Lily searched through her grandmother's jewelry box and found a minuscule key. It was tiny, barely visible among the trinkets. Its microscopic detail shimmered in the light. She realized its infinitesimal shape had power. It unlocked a minute drawer filled with forgotten memories. Ancient. Very old or belonging to a distant past. Antique. Archaic. Time-worn. Primitive. The lost civilization. The explorers uncovered ancient ruins hidden beneath the jungle. The antique pillars stood tall despite the passing centuries. The carvings told archaic stories of forgotten kings. The walls, though time-worn, still held echoes of the past. It was a glimpse into a primitive world long gone. Hilarious. Extremely funny or amusing. Amusing. Comical. Entertaining. Side-splitting. The unplanned prank. During the school play, Adam tripped on stage in the most hilarious way. His stumble was amusing, causing the audience to chuckle. His exaggerated reaction was comical, and even the teacher found it entertaining. It was side-splitting, proving that sometimes laughter is the best part of a performance. Stunning/gorgeous. Extremely beautiful or impressive. Breathtaking. Exquisite. Magnificent. Spectacular. The glittering valley. As Sophie stepped onto the hilltop, the view was stunning. A breathtaking valley stretched below. The flowers painted an exquisite mosaic of colors, the river gleaming like liquid silver. The sunset added a magnificent glow, transforming the horizon into something spectacular beyond words. Deafening. Extremely loud or overwhelming in sound. Thunderous. Ear-splitting. Roaring. Blaring. The stadium's roar. The final goal was scored, and the stadium erupted into a deafening cheer. The crowd's thunderous applause shook the ground. The screams were ear-splitting, filling every corner. The victory chants were roaring, and the speakers blasted blaring music that made the moment unforgettable. Stuffed. Completely full or packed tightly. Cramped. Overfilled. Jammed. Overflowing. The feast of feasts. After the grand dinner, Emma felt stuffed, unable to eat another bite. Her plate had been cramped with delicious dishes. The table was overfilled, packed with every imaginable delicacy. The serving bowls were jammed with food, some even overflowing onto the table. It was a meal to remember. Brand new. Completely new and unused. Fresh. Untouched. Pristine. Unopened. A gift to remember. Jake unwrapped the brand new watch, its fresh metal gleaming under the light. The surface was untouched, without a single scratch. It felt pristine, like something made just for him. He smiled, admiring its unopened perfection, knowing it marked the start of something special. Certain/positive. Confident and sure about something. Optimistic. Confident. Assured. Definite. Optimistic. The moment of victory. As Alex approached the final quiz, he felt certain he would succeed. His confident steps echoed through the hall. He was assured by his preparation, knowing the answers were definite in his mind. With an optimistic smile, he wrote each response, feeling success close at hand. Crucial. Extremely important and necessary. Essential. Vital. Fundamental. Key. The missing piece. The clock ticked as Lily searched for the crucial document. It was essential to win the case, vital for justice. Without it, her argument lacked a fundamental truth. Finally, she found the key evidence, securing victory with undeniable proof. Bewildered, completely confused or puzzled, dazed, perplexed, baffled, mystified. The maze of questions. Tom stared at the puzzle, bewildered by its complexity. His dazed eyes scanned the shapes, feeling perplexed by the solution. Every clue left him baffled, lost in uncertainty. Yet, as the answer clicked in his mind, he was no longer mystified. He had solved it. Obese. Extremely overweight, having excessive body fat. Overweight. Heavy. Chubby. Bulky. The health wake-up call. Max realized he had become obese, struggling to climb the stairs. His overweight frame slowed him down, making each step hard. He felt heavy, and his clothes felt too chubby for comfort. Determined to change, he embraced exercise, shedding his bulky burden. Outstanding. Exceptionally good or remarkable. Excellent. Remarkable. Superb. Exceptional. A performance to remember. The audience erupted into applause. Sophie's dance was outstanding. Her movements were excellent. Every turn was remarkable. The music blended with her rhythm in a superb display. The judges smiled, knowing they had witnessed something truly exceptional. Reckless. Acting without thinking about consequences. Careless. Rash. Thoughtless. Impulsive. The wild ride. Jake was reckless as he raced his bike down the steep hill. His careless speed made dust fly behind him. The turn ahead was sharp, but his rash decision to keep going nearly sent him tumbling. His actions were thoughtless, yet thrilling. In the end, his impulsive nature taught him the importance of caution. Abrupt. Sudden or unexpected, often in a rude way. Blunt. Curt. Unexpected. Unforeseen. The harsh goodbye. Mia's departure was abrupt, leaving no time for farewells. Her blunt explanation barely softened the shock. The goodbye was curt, brief, and without emotion. It was completely unexpected, catching everyone off guard. The unforeseen emptiness left behind weighed heavy on her friends. Eager, very excited or impatient to do something. Enthusiastic, keen, excited, ambitious. The first step. Oliver was eager to start his new job. His enthusiastic energy fueled his first day. He was keen to prove his skills, absorbing knowledge like a sponge. His excited spirit shined in every task, showing he was truly ambitious to succeed. Eloquent, fluent, expressive, and persuasive in speech or writing. Articulate, poetic, persuasive, expressive. The speech that changed everything. Sarah's words were eloquent, carrying power in every sentence. Her articulate delivery captivated the audience, making them listen intently. Her speech was poetic, weaving emotions into each phrase. She was persuasive, changing minds with her arguments. Her expressive voice echoed long after she had finished speaking. Flawed, having imperfections or weaknesses. Imperfect, faulty, defective, blemished. The broken vase. Emma stared at the flawed vase on the shelf. Though imperfect, its design had a story. A faulty crack ran along its side, but its artistry remained untouched. Others saw it as defective, but to her, it was beautifully blemished, a reminder that imperfection had its own charm. Eccentric, unconventional or strangely unique. Quirky, unusual, peculiar, idiosyncratic. The man with the odd hat. Mr. Turner was eccentric, known for his collection of bizarre hats. His style was quirky, each piece making heads turn. The town admired his unusual taste, seeing something peculiar in every accessory. His idiosyncratic fashion told stories beyond words. Gloomy, dark, sad, or depressing. Dreary, somber, mournful, dismal. The rainy afternoon. The sky was gloomy, clouds swallowing sunlight. The dreary weather matched Mia's mood, her thoughts somber as she watched the raindrops fall. The day felt mournful, yet the steady rhythm of the rain had a strange comfort. Even in its dismal state, the world kept moving. Inevitable, certain to happen, unavoidable. Unavoidable, inescapable, predetermined, fated. The falling leaves. Autumn's arrival was inevitable, the leaves turning golden. The change was unavoidable, painting the streets in warm hues. Nature's cycle was inescapable, each season predetermined in its rhythm. It felt fated, a reminder that time never stops. Outgoing, friendly, social, and enthusiastic. Sociable, talkative, extroverted, lively, the life of the party. Liam was outgoing, always surrounded by friends. His sociable nature made him easy to approach, his talkative energy never fading. He thrived in extroverted interactions, turning every dull moment into laughter. His lively spirit was contagious. Illegible, impossible to read due to unclear writing. Unreadable, faint, blurred, indecipherable. The mystery note. The old letter was illegible, its ink faded beyond recognition. The words were unreadable, leaving only traces of a forgotten message. The script was faint, nearly lost to time. The clues remained blurred, and its meaning remained indecipherable forever. Vague, unclear or lacking detail, uncertain, indistinct, ambiguous, hazy, the fading memory. Emily tried to recall the dream, but the details were vague. The faces remained uncertain, shifting like mist. The scenery was indistinct, blending into nothingness. The words whispered in her ear felt ambiguous, leaving her with a hazy recollection of something meaningful but forgotten. Obsolete, no longer in use or outdated. Outdated, antiquated, extinct, useless. The forgotten typewriter. Grandpa's old typewriter sat obsolete on the dusty shelf. Once treasured, now outdated in the world of technology. Its mechanics were antiquated, struggling to function. The ink ribbons were extinct, dried beyond use. Though seemingly useless, it still carried the stories of a time long gone. Precious, highly valuable or cherished, treasured, priceless, irreplaceable, special. The glass locket. The locket was precious, holding the last picture of Anna's mother. It was treasured, kept close to her heart. The memory inside was priceless, something no amount of money could buy. To her, it was irreplaceable, a special reminder of love and loss. Startling, shockingly surprising or unexpected. Shocking, alarming, astonishing, jarring. The hidden letter. Noah opened the old book, and a startling letter slipped out. Its message was shocking, revealing a long-lost family secret. The details were alarming, making his heart race. It was an astonishing discovery, one that changed everything he knew. The truth was jarring, forcing him to rethink his past. Resilient, able to recover quickly from difficulties. Strong, tough, durable, adaptable, the unbreakable spirit. Despite the storms, Liam remained resilient. His strong will carried him through hardships. Life tested him, but he proved how tough he was. His dreams, once fragile, became durable with determination. In every setback, he showed he was adaptable, finding ways to rise again. Mandatory, required by law or rule. Necessary, compulsory, obligatory, essential, enforced. The lesson that saved lives. Wearing a helmet was mandatory in Alex's town, yet some ignored the rule. It was compulsory, meant to protect riders. His father reminded him it was obligatory, ensuring safety. He knew it was essential, and when an accident happened, he saw why it was enforced. Inadequate, not enough or lacking quality. Insufficient, deficient, lacking, unsatisfactory. The empty basket. The food supply was inadequate, barely enough for the village. The resources were insufficient, causing hunger. The meals became deficient, with portions shrinking daily. The situation was lacking, forcing them to find a new solution. Until then, their conditions remained unsatisfactory, demanding urgent change. Worthwhile, valuable, and deserving effort. Rewarding, meaningful, beneficial, fulfilling. The journey home. After years abroad, Emma's return was worthwhile. The embrace of family felt rewarding, worth every struggle. The experience had been meaningful, shaping who she had become. Her work was beneficial, creating opportunities for others. Looking back, every challenge had been fulfilling, reminding her why she had left. Extraordinary, beyond ordinary, remarkable, or outstanding. Exceptional, unique, incredible, unbelievable. The girl who painted stars. Lila's talent was extraordinary. Her art captured emotions beyond words. Her work was exceptional, standing out among thousands. Every stroke created something unique, bringing life to canvases. The colors blended in incredible ways, making each piece feel unbelievable, almost magical. Meticulous, showing great attention to detail, very precise. Careful, thorough, detailed, exact. The perfect design. The architect was meticulous, ensuring every blueprint was flawless. His careful measurements left no errors. The process was thorough, covering every tiny aspect. His work was detailed, earning admiration. In the end, his calculations were so exact, the building stood tall for generations. Tactful, showing sensitivity in handling difficult situations. Diplomatic, thoughtful, considerate, discreet. The gentle advice. Emily was tactful in delivering the news to her friend. Her diplomatic tone made the truth easier to accept. She was thoughtful, choosing words carefully. Her considerate nature ensured no harm was done. She stayed discreet, allowing her friend space to process the truth. Trustworthy, reliable, and worthy of trust. Dependable, honest, loyal, reliable. The guardian of secrets. Jake was trustworthy, always keeping his friend's secrets safe. His dependable nature made him the go-to person for advice. He was honest, never betraying anyone's confidence. His loyal heart made him a true friend. He remained reliable, proving that trust was his strongest trait. Tenacious, determined, and not easily giving up. Persistent, strong-willed, stubborn, unyielding. The climb to victory. The mountain was steep, but Mia was tenacious. Her persistent strides kept her going. She was strong-willed, refusing to turn back. Even when challenges arose, her stubborn mindset pushed her forward. She was unyielding, conquering the peak with unwavering determination. Witty, clever and humorous in speech or writing. Sharp, humorous, quick-witted, intelligent. The laugh that won the crowd. Daniel's witty remarks made the audience erupt in laughter. His sharp humor kept everyone engaged. He was naturally humorous, delivering jokes effortlessly. His quick-witted responses never failed to amuse. His intelligent storytelling made the evening unforgettable. Conscientious, very careful and diligent in work or duty. Careful, thorough, dedicated, meticulous. The perfect project. Sarah was conscientious, ensuring every detail was flawless. Her careful approach left no mistakes. She worked thoroughly, reviewing each step. Her dedicated mindset ensured high-quality results. She remained meticulous, making sure everything was polished to perfection. Frugal, careful with spending, avoiding waste. Thrifty, economical, prudent, stingy, the wise investor. Noah was frugal, saving every penny. His thrifty habits helped him build a future. Unlike reckless spenders, he was economical, finding value in simplicity. His choices were prudent, ensuring a secure tomorrow. Some called him stingy, but he knew patience led to prosperity. Gullible, easily deceived or tricked. Naive, foolish, trusting, unwary. The tricky salesman. Emma was gullible, believing every salesman's words. Her naive nature made her buy useless products. She felt foolish, realizing she had been tricked. Her trusting heart ignored warnings, leading her into more mistakes. She remained unwary, learning the hard way that not everyone is honest. Outspoken, expressing opinions honestly and directly. Candid, frank, blunt, vocal, the bold debate. Liam was outspoken, never afraid to share his thoughts. His candid remarks stirred discussions. He was frank, saying what others hesitated to voice. His words could be blunt, but he valued truth. He stayed vocal, ensuring that fairness always had a place. Greedy, wanting more than needed, selfish desire. Selfish, materialistic, rapacious, gluttonous, the endless hunger. Henry was greedy, always craving more wealth. His selfish nature made him ignore others' struggles. He became materialistic, hoarding riches without joy. His rapacious hands grabbed at every opportunity, never satisfied. His gluttonous desires led him to loneliness, proving that too much can be dangerous. Conceited, overly proud of oneself, arrogant, vain, egotistical, self-important. The mirror's lesson. Alice was conceited, admiring herself in every mirror. Her arrogant attitude pushed people away. She was vain, obsessed with her appearance. Her egotistical remarks irritated friends. She believed she was self-important, until one day, she realized true beauty lay in kindness, not just reflection. Mediocre, average or not very impressive. Ordinary, unremarkable, inferior, passable. The uninspired painting. Leo stared at his mediocre painting. It looked ordinary, lacking vibrant colors. His strokes felt unremarkable, as if they held no passion. Compared to masterpieces, his work seemed inferior. Yet, deep down, he knew with practice, he could turn his skills from passable to extraordinary. Famished, extremely hungry or starving. Starving, ravenous, hungry, empty. The feast after the storm. After hours of sailing, Jake was famished. His starving stomach growled as they reached shore. He felt ravenous, ready to devour anything. His body, weak from the journey, was hungry beyond words. The first bite filled his empty belly, reviving his energy. Prompt. Done quickly and without delay. Immediate. Quick. Instant. Swift. The urgent call. When the fire alarm rang, the response was prompt. The firefighters made an immediate rush to the scene. Their movements were quick, wasting no time. The rescue was instant, pulling people to safety. Every action was swift, ensuring no lives were lost. Bland, lacking strong taste or excitement. Tasteless, flavorless, dull, uninteresting. The forgotten soup. Lily took a spoonful of the bland soup, disappointed. It was tasteless, missing the spices she loved. The texture felt flavorless, like water mixed with vegetables. Even its appearance was dull, nothing to tempt the appetite. She sighed. Dinner was truly uninteresting tonight. Filthy, extremely dirty or covered in mess. Dirty, grimy, stained, polluted. The abandoned house. The old mansion was filthy, dust covering every inch. The walls were dirty, revealing years of neglect. Its furniture looked grimy, untouched for decades. The floors were stained, darkened by time. The air smelled polluted, as if history had trapped its secrets inside. Reluctant, unwilling, or hesitant to do something. Hesitant, unwilling, uneager, resistant. The first step. Emma stood at the door, reluctant to enter. Her hesitant fingers gripped the handle, unsure. She was unwilling to face what lay ahead, but deep down, she knew she had to. Her heart felt uneager, trying to hold her back. Still, she fought against her resistant mind and walked forward. Remote, far away or distant, isolated, far-flung, secluded, distant. The hidden cabin. Deep in the remote mountains stood an isolated cabin. The journey to reach it was long, winding through far-flung valleys and dense forests. Its surroundings were secluded, untouched by the modern world. In that distant place, silence spoke louder than words, and peace was found in solitude. Savvy, having practical knowledge or understanding. Knowledgeable, clever, sharp, wise. The clever escape. Jack was savvy about technology, which saved him when he got lost. His knowledgeable mind helped him hack into an old GPS system. He was clever, thinking fast under pressure. His sharp instincts guided him, and in the end, his wise decisions led him safely home. Blurry, not clear or difficult to see. Hazy, fuzzy, foggy, unclear. The vanishing words. As Leo woke up, his dream was blurry. The images felt hazy, slipping away like mist. His memories were fuzzy, fragments with missing pieces. The once vivid pictures turned foggy, hard to grasp. Though the story was unclear, he knew it had meant something important. Fickle, changing frequently and unpredictably. Unstable, inconsistent, changeable, indecisive. The ever-shifting sky. The weather in the valley was fickle, one moment, sunshine, the next, rain. The skies remained unstable, switching colors without warning. The wind was inconsistent, restless in its movement. The seasons were changeable, refusing to settle. Even nature itself seemed indecisive, unable to pick a mood for the day. Monotonous, lacking variety, dull and repetitive. Repetitive, dreary, unvaried. Humdrum, the endless road. The journey through the desert felt monotonous, each mile blending into the next. The landscape was repetitive, stretching endlessly with no change. The sky remained dreary, its dull hue offering little relief. The path was unvaried, forcing the travelers to battle boredom. As hours passed in a humdrum rhythm, they dreamed of lush greenery ahead. Tedious, long, boring, and tiresome. Boring, wearisome, exhausting, dreary. The never-ending lecture. The professor's speech was tedious, dragging on without end. His points were boring, repeating the same concepts. Each minute felt wearisome, with students struggling to stay awake. The explanations were exhausting, draining their energy. The lesson turned dreary, making them wish for the final bell. Hazardous, dangerous or risky, perilous, unsafe, treacherous, risky. The narrow cliffside. The climb up the mountain was hazardous, each step requiring caution. The path was perilous, with sharp rocks threatening their grip. The loose gravel made it unsafe, forcing careful movement. The edge looked treacherous, ready to crumble at any moment. Every step forward was risky, but the breathtaking summit made it worthwhile. Infamous, famous for negative reasons, widely known in a bad way, notorious, disreputable, dishonorable, ill-famed, the cursed manor. The old mansion was infamous, whispered about in hushed tones. It was notorious for eerie happenings, filling villagers with fear. Its past was disreputable, linked to forgotten mysteries. Legends painted it as dishonorable, warning trespassers to stay away. Over time, it remained ill-famed, its doors forever locked against the curious. Anonymous, without a known name or identity. Nameless, unidentified, undisclosed, hidden. The secret helper. The donation arrived from an anonymous sender. The charity searched for the nameless giver but found no clues. The gesture remained unidentified, leaving the recipients wondering. Though the source was undisclosed, the kindness felt real. Somewhere, a hidden hero had changed lives without seeking credit. Vigorous, strong, energetic, or full of force. Powerful, forceful, robust, intense. The determined runner. Despite exhaustion, Mark pushed forward with vigorous strides. His energy was powerful, his breath steady. His determination was forceful, refusing to slow down. His muscles felt robust, carrying him toward the finish line. The cheering crowd fueled his intense effort, bringing victory within reach. Tremendous. Very large, great, or powerful. Enormous. Immense. Monumental. Vast. The thunderous applause. The theater erupted in tremendous applause. The sound was enormous, shaking the stage. The cheers were immense, echoing throughout the hall. The performance had been monumental, leaving the audience in awe. The standing ovation felt vast, stretching across the entire auditorium. Studious, hardworking, and focused on learning. Diligent, scholarly, intellectual, academic. The late-night reader. Emma was studious, buried in her books past midnight. Her dedication was diligent, never skipping a lesson. She had a scholarly approach, soaking up knowledge like a sponge. Her discussions were intellectual, impressing her professors. She thrived in the academic world, knowing her efforts would pay off. Ambiguous, unclear, or open to multiple interpretations. Vague, cryptic, uncertain, obscure. The mysterious note. The message was ambiguous, making Mark question its meaning. Its wording was vague, leaving him puzzled. The symbols felt cryptic, as if hiding a deeper truth. The purpose was uncertain, challenging him to dig deeper. The entire note remained obscure, waiting to be unraveled. Oblivious, unaware or lacking awareness of surroundings. Unmindful, unaware, unobservant, distracted. The lost wallet. Walking down the street, Jake was oblivious to his falling wallet. His mind was unmindful, lost in thoughts. He remained unaware, chatting loudly with friends. His eyes were unobservant, missing every clue. Distracted, he only realized his loss when he reached home. Derogatory, showing disrespect or insulting someone. Offensive, disparaging, demeaning, insulting, the hurtful words. Jake felt crushed by his friend's derogatory remarks. The words were offensive, piercing through his confidence. The tone was disparaging, belittling his achievements. It felt demeaning, making him doubt himself. The insulting laughter lingered, reminding him to choose his company wisely. Irrelevant, not important or connected to the matter. Unrelated, immaterial, meaningless, insignificant. The unnecessary distraction. During the debate, Emma's argument was dismissed as irrelevant. Her points seemed unrelated to the main discussion. The data she provided felt immaterial, adding no value. Her response was considered meaningless, drifting off topic. Despite the insignificant details, she learned to focus her words better. Amateur, lacking professional skill or experience. Novice, beginner, unskilled, inexperienced. The first painting. Daniel, an amateur artist, nervously held his brush. His novice strokes lacked precision, blending colors uncertainly. As a beginner, he struggled to bring his imagination to life. His hands were unskilled, creating shapes that barely made sense. Though inexperienced, he knew passion would lead him to mastery someday. Rudimentary, basic and undeveloped, lacking complexity. Elementary, simple, fundamental, basic. The child's first lesson. Tommy's understanding of math was rudimentary. He grasped only elementary concepts, struggling with advanced equations. His approach was simple, sticking to small numbers. The teacher encouraged him to focus on fundamental rules. Though his knowledge was basic, he had the potential to grow into a math wizard. Chaotic, completely disordered or confused. Turbulent, disorganized, messy, unruly. The wild festival. The marketplace was chaotic, bustling with energy. The crowd was turbulent, pushing in different directions. Stalls looked disorganized, with items scattered everywhere. Voices clashed in the messy air, mixing languages and laughter. The vibe was unruly, yet thrilling, capturing the essence of pure excitement. Indifferent, lacking interest or concern. Unconcerned, apathetic, detached, unmoved. The forgotten letter. Mia stared at the letter in her hand, feeling indifferent. The words should have made her emotional, but she remained unconcerned. Her heart felt apathetic, no longer stirred by old memories. She was detached, watching the ink fade like distant echoes. Even when she tossed it away, she remained unmoved, as if it had never mattered. Scarce, hard to find, or in low supply. Limited, insufficient, meager, rare. The search for water. The village struggled as clean water became scarce. The rivers dried, leaving limited sources. Their wells were insufficient, barely filling a bucket. The supply was meager, forcing families to ration every drop. The relief came only when a rare storm blessed them with rain. Sporadic, happening irregularly or inconsistently. Occasional, random, infrequent, unpredictable. The flickering lights. The old lighthouse shone sporadic flashes, unreliable in its duty. The beams were occasional, only guiding lost ships now and then. Its pattern was random, never following a set rhythm. The signals were infrequent, leaving sailors uneasy. Each burst of light was unpredictable, making safe passage uncertain. Trivial, unimportant, or insignificant. Minor, petty, negligible, unremarkable. The lost coin. Lily dropped a trivial coin on the sidewalk, barely noticing. It was minor, holding little value. A child spotted it, amazed by something so petty yet shiny. Its worth was negligible, but in the child's hands, it was treasure. What was unremarkable to one became precious to another. Subsequent. Coming after something else. Following. Next. Later. Successive. The turning pages. After finishing the chapter, Ethan eagerly flipped to the subsequent one. The events felt flowing seamlessly. He knew the twists lay in the next pages, keeping him on edge. The revelations came later, surprising him. The story continued in successive layers, making every moment exciting. Unanimous. Fully agreed upon by everyone involved. Agreed. United. Harmonious. Undisputed. The final vote. The jury reached a unanimous decision. Their voices agreed on the verdict. Every member remained united, understanding justice had to be served. The atmosphere was harmonious, with no arguments or doubts. Their ruling was undisputed, proving that fairness prevailed in the courtroom. Secular, not connected to religious beliefs or traditions. Non-religious, worldly, irreligious, earthly, the festival of unity. The town celebrated a secular festival, welcoming people from all backgrounds. The event was non-religious, focusing on human connections. The decorations had a worldly charm, embracing diverse cultures. Everyone gathered for the irreligious ceremony, enjoying music and food. The spirit was truly earthly, reminding them that kindness knows no boundaries. Sedentary, involving little movement or physical activity. Inactive, stationary, motionless, idle. The long study hours. Liam's routine became sedentary, spending hours at his desk. His days felt inactive, with little time for exercise. He remained stationary, glued to his chair as he read. His body felt motionless, craving movement. Soon, he realized he couldn't stay idle, deciding to balance work with activity. Lucrative, producing a large profit or financial success. Profitable, rewarding, high-paying, beneficial, the golden investment. Alex found a lucrative opportunity in his new business. His venture became profitable, growing rapidly. The success felt rewarding, proving his instincts were right. His clients brought high-paying deals, securing his future. Every step in his plan was beneficial, ensuring financial security. Harsh, severe or unpleasant in impact. Severe, brutal, cruel, bitter. The winter storm. The weather turned harsh, with icy winds cutting through the village. The cold was severe, freezing every surface. The storm was brutal, leaving no warmth behind. The conditions felt cruel, testing their endurance. Each breath was bitter, but they knew spring would come soon. Fleeting, lasting for a very short time. Brief, momentary, passing, transient. The vanishing sunset. As Mia admired the fleeting sunset, its colors turned briefly golden before fading. The momentary beauty left her breathless. The hues were passing, shifting with the sky's rhythm. She sighed at the transient light, knowing tomorrow would bring another spectacle. Stagnant, not moving or changing, dull or motionless. Motionless, still, lifeless, inactive, the forgotten pond. The water remained stagnant, covered in moss. Its surface was motionless, barely rippling. The air around it felt still, untouched by the wind. Life seemed lifeless, with no fish in sight. The silence was inactive, echoing through the abandoned forest. Soul, being the only one, unique. Single, lone, exclusive, only, the lone survivor. Ethan was the sole witness to the storm's destruction. His home was the single structure left standing. He felt lone, wandering through the wreckage. His survival was exclusive, untouched by the disaster. He was the only one to tell its tale. Idle, not active or working, doing nothing. Dormant, lazy, unused, unproductive. The empty workshop. The factory machines stood idle, silent after years of use. Their gears remained dormant, untouched by workers. The atmosphere felt lazy, lacking movement. The tools lay unused, gathering dust. The once thriving space was now unproductive, waiting for a second chance. Delinquent, showing bad behavior, especially in youth. Misbehaving, lawless, troubled, disorderly. The runaway kids. The delinquent group roamed the streets, seeking adventure. Their actions were misbehaving, ignoring the rules. They thrived on lawless moments, escaping responsibility. Each member carried a troubled past, finding comfort in rebellion. Their choices remained disorderly, shaping their uncertain future. Profound, deep and full of meaning. Meaningful, thoughtful, insightful, significant. The wise words. The elder's speech was profound, resonating in every heart. His words felt meaningful, carrying years of wisdom. The message was thoughtful, making listeners reflect. Each sentence was insightful, revealing hidden truths. The moment was significant, leaving an everlasting impact. Naive, lacking experience or wisdom, easily fooled. Innocent, gullible, simple-minded, unworldly. The trusting heart. Lily was naive, believing every sweet promise. Her trust felt innocent, untouched by deceit. She was gullible, falling for smooth words. Her views remained simple-minded, unaware of the world's tricks. She lived unworldly, waiting for kindness to prove her beliefs true. Woefully, in a way that expresses deep sorrow or inadequacy. Miserably, dismally, pitifully, regretfully. The lost opportunity. Mia woefully watched as the train departed, knowing she had missed her chance. Her heart felt miserably heavy, filled with regret. The situation was dismally unfortunate, as she had worked so hard for this day. She sighed pitifully, blaming her poor timing. Looking back regretfully, she promised never to be late again. Exceedingly, to a very great degree, extremely, exceptionally, immensely, profoundly, tremendously. The towering waves. The storm made the ocean exceedingly wild, waves crashing against the shore. The water moved exceptionally fast, rising higher than ever before. The force was immensely powerful, shaking the boats. The storm felt profoundly overwhelming, its strength tremendously frightening to the fishermen. Undeniably, without a doubt, unquestionably, clearly, absolutely, indisputably, unquestionably, the grand performance. The dancer was undeniably talented, her movements effortless. She performed clearly with grace, capturing every eye. The audience was absolutely mesmerized, clapping in admiration. Her skill was indisputably unmatched, proving her dedication. It was unquestionably a performance to remember, utterly, completely, and without restriction. Totally, fully, entirely, wholly. The shattered glass. The vase lay utterly broken on the floor. Its pieces were totally scattered, beyond repair. The damage was fully irreversible, leaving only memories. The once beautiful object was entirely ruined, reminding them of its fragility. The loss was wholly unexpected, teaching a lesson in carefulness. Dramatically, in an exaggerated or striking manner. Theatrically, intensely, strikingly, forcefully. The unexpected entrance. Mark arrived dramatically, kicking open the door. His entrance was theatrically bold, turning every head in the room. He spoke intensely, his voice filled with emotion. His presence was strikingly powerful, drawing attention. With each gesture, he moved forcefully, making sure everyone listened. Unimaginably, beyond what can be conceived or believed. Inconceivably, unthinkably, unbelievably, astonishingly, the hidden treasure. Deep beneath the ruins, Layla found an unimaginably beautiful gem. Its worth was inconceivably high, shining brighter than anything she'd seen. The discovery was unthinkably rare, changing her fate. She gazed at it unbelievably, unable to process her luck. The moment was astonishingly unreal, proving some treasures are meant to be found. Inconceivably, beyond what can be imagined or comprehended. Unimaginably, unthinkably, unbelievably, astonishingly, the hidden treasure. Deep in the ancient ruins, Sophia found an inconceivably beautiful sapphire. The gem shimmered unimaginably, its glow unlike anything she had ever seen. The discovery was unthinkably rare, changing her fate. She gazed at it unbelievably, unable to process her luck. The moment was astonishingly unreal, proving that some treasures were meant to be found. Extremely. To a high degree, very much. Exceptionally. Supremely. Intensely. Profoundly. The coldest winter. The wind was extremely cold, cutting through Jack's coat. The frost was exceptionally harsh, biting at his fingers. He wrapped his scarf supremely tight, trying to stay warm. The chill was intensely bitter, leaving his breath frozen. Every step felt profoundly exhausting, but he had to keep moving. Vastly, to a great extent or degree. Enormously, hugely, immensely, boundlessly. The endless ocean. The sea stretched vastly before them, its waves moving enormously across the horizon. The water seemed hugely deep, hiding secrets below. The vast blue was immensely mesmerizing, pulling them into its mystery. The beauty felt boundlessly infinite, reminding them of nature's grandeur. Tremendously, in an extremely large or powerful way. Massively, exceedingly, monumentally, astoundingly. The roaring thunder. The storm arrived tremendously, shaking the village. The winds were massively strong, bending trees to their will. The lightning struck exceedingly bright, illuminating the dark sky. The damage was monumentally destructive, leaving houses in ruins. As silence returned, the night felt astoundingly eerie, waiting for dawn's light. Unmistakably, without a doubt, clearly recognizable. Clearly, distinctly, indisputably, evidently, the familiar face. In the crowded station, Emma spotted an unmistakably familiar face. She recognized him clearly, despite years apart. His features stood distinctly against the sea of strangers. It was indisputably him, her childhood friend. The truth was evidently certain. Their paths had crossed again, particularly, to a specific or noteworthy degree. Notably, especially, significantly, remarkably, the brightest star. The night sky was particularly dazzling, with one star shining notably brighter than the rest. Its glow was especially mesmerizing, capturing everyone's attention. The brilliance was significantly different, making it stand out. It was remarkably unique, guiding travelers through the darkness.